previous lesson, we've seen that every living thing is a part of the food chain. Both plants and animals are part of a food chain. There are several food chains in nature. We've also learned that all the food chains together form the food web. Let us now learn about other cycles in nature. There are many cycles in the environment. For example, the water cycle, the air or the oxygen cycle. Now think of a wheel. If you put a mark at any point on the wheel and then roll the wheel, you will see the mark once again after it has completed one round. We say that the wheel completed one cycle. Thus, we have the cycle of seasons. One season is followed by a second, then a third, and then the first season comes again. The cycle of seasons, summer, rainy, and winter, keeps on repeating continuously. Just like this, we see a food cycle too. Food cycle. Food changes from one form to another till it returns to the first form, making a kind of circle which keeps on repeating. This is called the food cycle. The food cycle helps to keep up or to maintain the balance in the environment. In the presence of sunlight, plants use water and carbon dioxide from the air along with nutrients from the soil to make their food. Animals eat parts of plants. Animals that eat plants are eaten by other animals. When animals die, their remains fall on the ground or in water. There are many kinds of microorganisms in the soil and in the water. Microorganisms use these animal remains as food. Thus, they help to rot or decompose the bodies of the dead animals. As a result of rotting, nutrients for plants are produced and get added to the soil. And again, plants use these nutrients in the presence of sunlight for their own growth. Every living thing in the environment gets the food it needs due to the food cycle in nature. Microorganisms decompose dried leaves, twigs, sticks, branches of trees and remains of animals that fall on the earth. This results in the formation of substances that are useful for the growth of plants. Plants use these substances to grow. The return to the soil of the remains of animals and plants as a result of decomposition completes a cycle of nature, the oxygen cycle. Just like the food cycle, we also see the oxygen cycle in nature. Living things take in a certain oxygen and give out another. For example, we take in oxygen through our nose and give out carbon dioxide. Living things use oxygen from the air for breathing and respiration. The air they give out into the environment contains carbon dioxide. Plants use this carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight to produce food. The oxygen that is produced in the process of making food mixes in the air and living things use this oxygen from the air for breathing. The opposite of this occurs in plants. During the day, plants take in the carbon dioxide in the air that is not required by any animal. They use it to make their own food. They give out the oxygen that is required by living things. At night, they take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. The water cycle. The water cycle is another cycle in nature. It provides water to all living things. During the day, the water in the sea gets heated. It changes into vapor. Vapor is light in weight, so it rises in the air. There, it cools and forms clouds. When clouds become very cool, drops of water fall down from them. We call it Rain. Rainwater flows down hills and on the ground. It flows down slopes into rivers. Rivers carry the water into the sea. Once again, sea water forms vapor and the process keeps repeating. There are several such cycles in the environment. Balance in nature is maintained due to cycles like the water cycle, oxygen cycle, food cycle, etc. As a result, the proportion of all the constituents is maintained at a proper level. Thus, we see that a continuous give and take goes on between living things and between living things and non-living things. It is necessary for these cycles in nature to carry on without stopping. That is how balance is maintained. That is, the balance is not disturbed. We can do the following to help maintain our environment. Plant trees. Take care of trees so that they don't die. Separate garbage into wet and dry garbage. Make manure at home by composting the wet garbage. Not to kill any animals, birds or insects. What did we learn? Every living thing is a part of a food chain. Both plants and animals are parts of the food chains. There are many food chains in nature. The food cycle maintains the balance in nature. Every living thing gets the food it needs due to the food chains. There are several cycles in nature such as the oxygen cycle, water cycle and food cycle. Exercise. Right or wrong? Yesterday, Rajveer killed a big spider just like that. Zubaida composts garden waste to make manure. Parashar uprooted some good plants in the garden. Pushkar takes a bottle of water to a hill where he walks to water the plants there. Make a model of the water cycle.